The eighth and final installment of the Harry Potter franchise brings us Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. The last movie finished with Lord Voldemort securing the Elder Wand from Dumbledore in his grave. Snape, a Death Eater, has also taken over Hogwarts as headmaster, and it's all dark and gloomy now. Meanwhile, Harry is still on the beach from the last movie mourning the loss of the house elf, Dobby. The trio goes to Bill Weasley's house where Harry speaks with Griphook because he used to work at Gringotts, the wizarding bank, and Harry believes there is a Horcrux inside Bellatrix's vault. Harry asks Griphook if he will help him break in, and Griphook says he will do it if Harry gives him the sword of Gryffindor, and Harry agrees. Harry then goes to talk to Ollivander, the wand shop owner, and asks him about the wand Harry stole from Draco just a little earlier. Ollivander tells Harry he senses the allegiance has changed, and it is now Harry's wand. The trio and Griphook head to Gringotts, but Hermione took Polyjuice Potion to disguise herself as Bellatrix, and Ron took the form of another Death Eater as well. Harry and Griphook will be under the cloak of invisibility when they go through the bank. Although it takes some convincing with the goblins working, they are able to get through the bank and down to Bellatrix's vault. Harry searches everywhere and he is able to find a Horcrux, and it is the Hufflepuff cup, but the goblins are made aware of the break-in and start chasing them down. Harry, Ron, and Hermione grab the Horcrux, then board a dragon that was chained in the vault area, and they fly out safely. They stay on the dragon for a while until a lake is below them and they jump in. Once they get out, Harry has another Voldemort vision, and in this one Voldemort is not happy that another Horcrux was stolen from him. And then Harry sees the name Ravenclaw and realizes that the next Horcrux has something to do with Ravenclaw House at Hogwarts. He doesn't know what it is, but he says they need to go to Hogwarts and destroy it. Ron says they can't just walk into the school because Snape is headmaster now, and they'll need to find a different way into the castle. They apparate to Hogsmeade, but a jinx was set on the small village, so Death Eaters are made aware Harry is there. The trio hides, but then Dumbledore's brother, Aberforth, finds them and tells them to come with him. He reluctantly tells them about a secret tunnel into Hogwarts, and then Neville shows up to lead the way. When Harry gets inside the castle, some students that were in Dumbledore's army tell Harry they want to help him find the Horcrux. Luna tells Harry about Rowena Ravenclaw's lost diadem, and that mostly is what the Horcrux is, but it's been lost for years. Ginny then walks in the room and tells everyone that Snape knows Harry is on the school grounds and all students are called to the Great Hall. Snape wants to know where Harry is, but no one says anything. Harry then pops out of the crowd and tells everyone there that Snape was the one who murdered Dumbledore. Snape is about to cast a spell on Harry, but McGonagall steps in and blocks the spells. Snape knows it's a lost cause, so he flies out of the building. Voldemort then enters everyone's minds and tells them to hand over Harry Potter and there shall be no war. But Harry's closest friends will not let that happen, and they defend Harry. Harry then starts searching everywhere around the castle for the lost diadem. While he's doing that, Ron and Hermione are going to go into the Chamber of Secrets so they can get a basilisk fang to destroy the Horcrux cup. Luna finds Harry and tells him to talk to the Ravenclaw ghost, and when he does, she tells them it is in the Room of Requirement. Meanwhile, Voldemort and his Death Eater army have shown up to take over Hogwarts, but they have to get through the magical barrier first. Back to Hermione and Ron, who go down to the Chamber of Secrets. Hermione destroys the Horcrux with a basilisk fang, and then her and Ron share their first kiss together. Voldemort is not happy when his soul feels this, as there are only 2 Horcruxes left. He fires a powerful spell at the force field, and it breaks, so the Death Eaters are able to enter the school grounds for the Battle of Hogwarts. Harry goes up to the Room of Requirement, but doesn't realize Draco is following him because Draco wants his wand back. Ron and Hermione use the Marauder's map to find Harry too. After a few minutes of looking, Harry sees the diadem and grabs it. Draco and his goons then tell Harry to hand over the wand, but Harry isn't going to. Goyle then casts a spell that turns into a big fiery dragon, and it chases Harry, Ron, and Hermione on brooms. The dragon ends up killing Goyle and is about to kill Draco, but Harry wants to return the favor and save Draco for not telling Bellatrix it was him at Malfoy Manor in the last movie. Harry saves Draco, and they fly out of the Room of Requirement on a broom. Draco immediately leaves, and Harry destroys the diadem with a basilisk fang. Voldemort feels this, and he tells Nagini to stick close to him, and Harry realizes Nagini is the last Horcrux. Harry realizes that Voldemort is currently at the Shrieking Shack with Nagini. The trio runs through the battlefield, and head to the Shrieking Shack and look in through the window. Inside, Voldemort is talking with Snape, and Voldemort says the Elder Wand won't be truly his until Snape is dead because Snape was the one that killed Dumbledore, not himself. The allegiance goes to the wizard that disarmed the previous one. Voldemort then slashes Snape's neck and tells Nagini to finish him off. After Nagini and Voldemort disapparate, Harry goes up to Snape and realizes he's still alive. Snape tells Harry to take his tears to the pensieve, and then Snape dies. Voldemort then gets in everyone's minds again and tells Harry to meet him in the Forbidden Forest in 1 hour, or he will kill every last wizard that tries to protect him. When Harry gets back to the castle, he is heartbroken to learn that Fred, Lupin, Tonks, and many others died during the Battle of Hogwarts. Harry goes up to the pensieve and puts Snape's tears inside to look into his prior memories. There are a few different memories that are shown, but shown first is that Snape and Harry's mother, Lily Potter, were good friends even as little kids, and Snape was in love with her his whole life. That is why he was resentful at James Potter, because he took the woman he loved, and then having a baby made it that much more painful for him. Also shown is how Snape accidentally was responsible for telling Voldemort about the prophecy, and that led to Voldemort going to Godric's Hollow to kill Harry that night so many years ago. Snape was even more heartbroken because it led to Lily's death, which crushed him. Dumbledore convinced Snape that if he really loved Lily, he would protect her son while growing up, as he was an arch-nemesis to Voldemort. Snape only stayed on as a Death Eater to be a double agent, and he was working with Dumbledore the whole time. When Dumbledore put the Horcrux ring on his finger after finding it, it was cursed and a toxin spread throughout Dumbledore's hand, and he only had a year to live. Dumbledore told Snape he had to be the one to kill him, because then the Dark Lord would trust him immensely, and that was essential to winning the war. That is why Snape killed Dumbledore a year prior. Dumbledore also tells Snape that Voldemort isn't aware, but Harry Potter was the 7th Horcrux Voldemort made the night he gave Harry the scar. It's the reason why Harry can speak to snakes and can see in his mind. A part of Voldemort's soul lives inside him. That part of Harry will have to die to ensure Voldemort will be gone for good. Harry then realizes he has to die, and he tells Hermione and Ron that he is going to the Forbidden Forest to square off with Voldemort despite them begging him not to. Before going to Voldemort, Harry kisses the snitch Dumbledore left him, and inside of it is the Resurrection Stone. And then Harry's parents, Remus Lupin, and Sirius Black's ghosts surround him and tell him how brave he is, and they will be by his side the whole time. Harry drops the Resurrection Stone and then walks up to Voldemort, who is shocked to see him, and then Voldemort uses the killing curse on him. Harry wakes up in a large white version of King's Cross, and Dumbledore comes to talk with him. Dumbledore tells him how brave he was to do this, and how a part of Voldemort's soul lived inside him, but now it is dead. Dumbledore tells him he can go back since Voldemort used Harry's blood in the Goblet of Fire, and since he still had the protection from his mother's sacrifice, he can resurrect himself. All he has to do is kill Nagini, and all the Horcruxes will be destroyed, and only Voldemort will be left. When Harry goes back, though, he pretends that he is dead, so Voldemort and all of his Death Eaters go to Hogwarts and tell them Harry Potter is dead, and they will now follow orders from himself. Neville stands up to Voldemort and said they won't cower to his demands. Everyone is completely shocked when Harry opens his eyes and shoots a spell at Nagini. Voldemort is stunned and chases after Harry throughout the castle. A lot of Death Eaters flee because they don't want to fight anymore, including all of the Malfoys. Inside the castle, Harry and Voldemort are fighting everywhere, and Harry tells Voldemort the Elder Wand won't ever be his because Snape wasn't the one that disarmed Dumbledore in the astronomy tower that night. Draco did it before Snape killed him. They end up flying through the air and crash onto the courtyard in front of the school. Meanwhile, Nagini is chasing Ron and Hermione around for some reason instead of hiding, and when she lunges to bite them, Neville slices the snake in half with the sword of Gryffindor, and now all the Horcruxes are destroyed. Voldemort and Harry throw their spells at each other, but since the Elder Wand doesn't have allegiance with Voldemort, he loses the battle and he disintegrates and is gone for good. He goes inside the Great Hall, which is completely torn up, but everyone is glad this whole thing is finally over. Harry goes outside, snaps the Elder Wand in two, and throws it in the Black Lake. He tells Hermione and Ron no single wizard should have that powerful of a wand, neither good or bad. The story then jumps 19 years later, where everyone is all grown up. Harry is married to Ginny with a few kids named after Sirius, Snape, and Dumbledore, while Ron and Hermione are married, as well with children of their own. They are dropping their kids off at King's Cross Station for them to leave for Hogwarts like they did themselves 2 decades ago. And that is how this fantastic series ends. I appreciate you watching all the way through. Thanks.